Hello, Tarabi Alaza, and welcome to our introduction to the amazing world of the ancient Egyptians. Now, we will look at the kind of food they ate, how they grew, harvested, and prepared it. Now, it is no surprise to learn that the climate in ancient Egypt was very hot and that there was little rainfall. The land was mostly desert, and this made growing crops difficult to say the least. The River Nile, the longest river in the world, whose water is shared by 11 different countries today, provided the ancient Egyptians with a plentiful and constant supply of fresh water to meet their daily needs. Now, every year in the summer, the River Nile rose and all the land along its banks were covered with water for 3 months. When the water eventually went down, everywhere was covered with a new layer of very fertile, thick, black mud. The ancient Egyptians farmed this very fertile strip of mud-covered land, which they called Kemet, or black land. And beyond the black land was the red land, which was not flooded every year. So nothing could grow on it. And this was where the people built their houses. Now, how do we get the information about the daily life of the ancient Egyptians? Well, we get nearly all of it from the hieroglyphs found on the walls of the monuments and pyramids, as well as a few ancient scrolls which show everyday people doing everyday things. So let us ask a very important question. What did the ancient Egyptians do all day? Well, they spent most of their time planting, harvesting, storing, and preparing food, apart from building the odd pyramid now and again here and there. Many of the stones were more than 80 tons in weight and came from more than 800 kilometers away in Aswan. Wow, they then had to lift them to amazing heights of more than 146 meters. I think that would give anyone a good appetite. One of the most common foods was flatbread. Wheat and barley were grown along the banks of the Nile and then ground between two large stones to make the flour. The dough was usually prepared outside and initially was baked over an open fire. Later on, they made special ovens and lit a fire underneath, much the same as many people still do today. The bread was often sweetened with dates and honey. In years when the harvest was very good, the surplus grain was stored in huge containers, and then in years when the harvest was poor, the stored grain was distributed to prevent the people from starving. This is why cats were so important in ancient Egypt. They were needed to control the rats and mice who would otherwise eat the grain stored in the containers. Not very good. Now, the ancient Egyptians often ate a very large variety of fruit and vegetables. Some of the fruits they ate were melons, dates, figs, and pomegranates. Interestingly, they did not know anything about oranges, lemons, and bananas. They were totally unknown to the ancient Egyptians. That is very sad. Anyway, as regards vegetables, they ate loads and loads and loads and loads of onions, as well as beans, chickpeas, lentils, and green peas, just as the modern Egyptians do today. It looks very healthy to me. So, boys and girls, there you have it. That was a short introduction to the kind of food the ancient Egyptians ate. It seemed to me that if you want to be healthy, you should eat like an Egyptian, as well as work like an Egyptian. Yeah, and walk like an Egyptian. Ha. Well, we could say a lot more, but unfortunately, we don't have the time just now. So, we will see you in the next lesson. Masalama, goodbye, and happy learning.